Hello everyone, it's Terry and welcome to my channel. If you're new, this video's purpose is to number one, do an unboxing of a brand new import company that imports orchids from other outside of the country. There are several of these companies that do this, Ecuador, there is a Columbia Orchid Trader, I believe, something like that. And also occasionally Botanica Limited or John out of Louisiana Orchid Connection. They will often, sometimes once a year, they will put out a feeder for Madagascar imports. And they will put out a list and you can pre-order. Generally, that is the procedure. You have to pre-order. And most of the time you have to prepay for them. On average, I would say with Madagascar orders and even the Columbia Trading Company order, even the Brazil, there's another one out of Florida, I believe, somewhere in Florida that is Brazilian orchid imports that I've ordered from. Pretty much they all are unclear as far as their custom, as far as when the plants will arrive through customs. Generally, these individuals are at the country that these orchids are originating from. So they are with the orchids as part of a group order. Your order is generally part of a group order. And then they ship the orchids, or their contact in that country ships the orchids to a show in the States, wherever it is. And then they will either arrange for you to pick it up or you will arrange for them to ship them to you. Either which case, although it's gotten a lot more clear and easier to order these, there still is some sense of the unknown because you don't know a lot of times what you are getting. There often are no pictures. There generally are just categories of the orchids. They also do foliage plants as well, Hoyas and that other plant that is taking over is another black hole. But anywho, they carry a wide variety, very similar to Ecuador, but this company is Equidaeus Amazonicus. And with this particular company, I can't remember where it must have been Facebook, but you had to send them your email and then they sent you the plant list. And it was pretty self-explanatory. The thing about this company, I had not ordered from them before. So this was a brand new experience and I can't even explain the overjoyed glee just with the size of the plants and just, it always is such a pleasure when it works out because like I said, you're buying these plants sight unseen and you're hopeful. And most times with the Madagascar orders, from either company, depends on the customs. They may arrive at customs and they may say that they need to, they're not good enough, or they have bugs and they need to be sprayed. And so that's another delay. Or they just won't arrive at all. Or they just won't pass customs for whatever reason. But it is a wait. It is always, once you pay your money, it's easy to forget about it because sometimes months can pass. But with this company, I literally got this order. They sent it before I paid. Amazing. They sent this before I paid. I paid for this literally 2 days ago. My orchids arrived Friday. So that is great customer service. I don't care about my address, but anyway, that's where they sent my orchids. This is Orchidaeus amazonica. This also serves good for those of you orchid hobbyists like myself, or just people that are curious as far as what do you get, is it worth it? Because there is such a risk. So often the plants are rarer than you can find in the States. The size and the healthiness is often the question. But the plant lists on these groups or in these, with these export companies or import companies are far more rare. So if you like rare plants that you can hardly find, then maybe this is for you. But again, it is a risk. But through the years, it has gotten a lot better. The plants have, the quality of Ecuagenera has gone up. It's a lot, and so therefore the roots are more healthier, the plants are more stable, so it's a lot easier to get these plants acclimated to your environment, which is pretty much what the goal is. When you get these plants, you want to immediately inspect them. Ones that need to be hydrated, you need to take care of that. And for the most part, you really need to try to get them into your environment. But this is such a special order. I want to just pull them out and show them to you really quickly and give people a general idea of what you will get these days if you order from Orchids Amazonica. Now, I have other videos out there in the past that I've done, Ecuagenera, which in my view, Ecuagenera is well worth ordering. Their plants have increased in quality and size substantially, like between when I first started ordering Ecuagenera, before they had they did have a website, but they never had pictures. It was just names. Anyhow, this is another one of those such companies. You just get a list. You don't really know what it is. It might say blooming, flowering, whatever, the price, and then you tell them you want this. They send you an invoice, you pay for it, and then you wait. This was the fastest order that I have ever gotten, honestly. So, and it just so happens the first plant that I pulled out, Scutocario peruviana, which when I pulled this out of the box, I literally almost fainted because it looks like a mule ear Cuba Central, which I believe it is a relative, but then when you get closer and look at the roots, and all of these are wrapped in a similar way in tissue. And these have been, I took them out of the box yesterday, so when I got back, I got these out of the box. But you can look at just the healthiness of the roots and how they are plentiful. So I'm gonna not spend a lot of time on these because these are rare orchids. Some of them I will explain in a little bit more detail as I come to them. Others I will just leave it up to you. But I'm just gonna lay them out one by one and show them to you. These are completely dream bucket list level plants. And you will know when you see. Okay, here's this one. And unfortunately, the tag. This is Lotharius lanciana, which is a mule ear. Trichopilia lancianum, beautiful maroon or dark brown with different kinds of contrasting colors that are very vivid, fuchsia, and they're very rich and fragrant. As all, well not all, but as some mule ear, some Cuba Centrals. And you can see the roots. Look at these roots. Amazing roots. And the plants. Look at the leaves. How big they are. Here's my hand. See that? That is a mule ear Cuba Central. And I don't know what that is, but that is what that plant is. And I'm just going to put it down and move on. Okay. There. So the next one out is an Achilla vespa. Now, an Achilla used to be Prostegia encyclia. So this was a formerly Encyclia vespa. We've all heard of that. Nice, healthy pseudobulbs. I don't really care to pull it out of the thing right now, but you can look down in there and see the roots. And lo and behold, when you look up into this one, there is a spike with buds. Very healthy plant in the Cuban vespa. So I'll leave that one there, and I'll move on. And this plant is Epidemiciliary criniferum. Lo and behold, I just ordered this cat, and I should be receiving it soon. But what I wanted to show you, I haven't pulled it out of the paper yet, but you can already see the size of the plant. And there are the roots. And when I look up at the top of the canes, there are sheaths. There's a sheath. And on this side, there's another sheath. And there's a sheath. And I found a sheath, here it is, that's got movement. If I can focus it. But very, very healthy in spike, Encyclia criniferum. Numerous inflorescence. Here. And there's another. So, I don't have to show you any more on that plant. I am pretty darn impressed. For sure. Epidendrum criniferum. All right. It just keeps getting better and better. Areopsis by Loba. Look at how big this sucker is. Try and pull it out a little bit. Show you some of the roots. Comes with a maturing growth. And it's got 2 outer pseudobulbs. And you can see those roots. Nice fat roots, big pseudobulbs. Trying to be jelly roots, but there we go. There's the base of the plant, there's those roots. Again, Areopsis by Loba. Look at how big that is. Okay, next I have Nextelaria pendula. And this one came in a little cup. And you can see those roots. There's the base of the plant. There's the long pseudobulb, the long rhizome on both sides. And then another pseudobulb. That's the growth habit. Nextelaria pendula. Mature plant. I'll have to do some research on that, although I'm sure I did it before I ordered it. But I'll have to do more. Again, moving on, here I got a Galliandra Cuba Central. And Galliandra are one of my favorite genuses. Look at those roots. And in these little cups that you'll see, there's plentiful roots for the most part and just minimum sphagnum. But you can see the prior pseudobulbs and the latest growth. And I want to say that was a spec forming. But they generally do bloom towards the end of the winter from the very top of the newly formed inflorescence, which would be these. They grow almost like a cicada. But their flowers are really lovely, pendulate. Okay, that's a Galliandra. Love it, love it, love it. Moving on, Epidemiciliary, which could be now called stylus, but is Has got a little bit of growing up to do maturing before I think it gets to be bloom size. So it's pretty much as the other plants are, pretty decent. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay, here is this one. Oops. This is another Lotharius, which is a Cuba Central. Lafarious Morenoi. Lotharius. This is a Mulier Cuba Central. You can see the color of the leaves indicating the light, the highlight that it gets. And inside the cup, you see the plethora of roots. And this is another Lotharius. You can see the leaves. Okay, here's the next one. Nextelaria, Cameridae. And this is a plant that I have wanted for a very long time. I've seen it on Ecogenera, but was never able to get one. This used to be another genus, but it was reclassified into Nextelaria. I think it's Cameridium. But in any event, these get white flowers, and I just love the growth. Look at how the pseudobulbs here are looking like typical Nextelaria tenifolia. You know how it goes up in a ladder shape. But the new growth, it looks almost like a reed stem. You see that? I'm assuming that is the new growth because it does not appear to be coming from the base of the pseudobulb. And I'm really not sure at all. But it is very unique, very interesting. I think this might be partially terrestrial. But that's that. Nextelaria Cameridae. Next one I got here, Radragetzia liana, which I love Radragetzia. If you know that, if you watch my channel, these are encyclia types, but they are more an intermediate growing orchid. They still like this typical culture, shade from the midday sun. These do best mounted, but they get little precious flowers that are pendant, almost in the fashion of a trichopilia, and they can be fragrant. And in fact, this species I got from watching Gardening at the Windsor, Rachel. Her and Roger, I believe, had one of these lianas. And Rachel's bloomed really nicely and probably still does. But it's Radragetzia liana. Okay, so let's see what else. Okay, here we got another Lotharius, which is Lotharius nana. And I just got one of these from Ecogenera, and it was very, very tiny. You can see how this is much more mature, a lot more roots. Lotharius. Again, mule ear type, same as those. Alright. Looks like this is it. And I got a Gongora sanderiana, which is a Gongora that I have not heard of. And if I find one, I'll put a picture up. The Gongora is in the Stanhopea alliance. Same typical culture of, like as Stanhopeas, they do like a little bit less water, but you can tell by their leaves, if they're crinkled, how good their water is and what you are giving them is enough. They do like more while they are growing and less while they're resting when they put up their spikes, generally towards the beginning of the growth season, though they can be anytime, and they're generally quite fragrant. I want to say these are white, but I'm not sure. I will figure that out. And there is my haul, folks. It is just spectacular, spectacular, amazing, amazing. Just bucket list plants galore. Vespa, and spike will be fragrant. Hopefully I will get this Scutocario acclimated. Let me look at those roots. Hopefully that will have to be mounted and it will be pendant. So I'm praying that this Areopsis biloba, praying that I get this acclimated, the Epidendrum creniferarum. Those are typically difficult. And as this Nextelaria camaridium, but all of them in general, because as it appears to me, these look like they have been freshly cut from some place and wrapped really nicely. Maybe they have been cultivated, but whatever it is, these are the most healthiest implants in ports that I've seen in a while. And maybe this will calm some of your fears and get you to take the plunge, because these are where you will find the only places that you will find the rarest of rarest plants. And I mean, you will find them on eBay from other people who have taken the plunge like I have, or vendors, etc., but you can do it all yourself, if you have the ability and the patience, as you should already, as this hobby requires lots of patience, because the majority of these are slow growers. But when you can get imports that are rare, that are this size and mature, blooming size, the ease of transition is greater, especially with these roots as they exist on these plants. I could not ask for a better haul from an import. And granted, these have been in this state, in this box, wrapped in this paper towel for days, probably weeks, before they even left the country of origin. They went to a show and then they were shipped. And then they stayed in that box for a day. So I would say these are in darn good shape. And plus it sat on my porch, I will add, all day when it was about 40. And this is what you see it was wrapped in. It might have been a heat pack, but I don't think so. Anyhow, folks, I'm rambling on, and you can see it for yourself. Hopefully this will answer some of the questions that you have. You do have to be comfortable with dry, bare root or bare rooted orchids, which all of us should be. But, if you have, again, questions about mounting or how I am going to do, or, where these will end, I will do another video for that, or you can ask. But please put your questions in the comments. And like I said, hopefully this will open your eyes up to a new company, or just those of you who have never ordered imports and have thought about it, wanted to. Hopefully this gives you some idea of what you will get. And really, for a little bit of money and patience, you can kind of be the cog of the block and have things that you really want that you can't find. So anyhow, thanks for watching, folks. And I hope you enjoyed this as I did. Very much so. I am so excited to share all of these with you one by one or all together. How I mount them or pop them up and share all that with you, and share the progress of these as they go. And hopefully someone will get the confidence to take the plunge and get some rare orchids that they can only look at in books and want in their possession, but can't find. You can find them at these sites. Anyhow, thanks for watching, folks.